Welcome to Brawl Till We Fall. As you know, my name is Teo, and this is the AEW segment. We're going to talk about AEW and all the things that happened this week on AEW, starting with Dynamite. Let's get it in. All right, so Dynamite kicks off with the CEO, Mercedes Moné, the new TBS champion, and her in ring segment celebrating her win as she was interrupted by Sky Blue, who admits that a few weeks ago when the lights went dark and she was doing her interview that she is the one who attacked Mercedes Moné. And she didn't leave the ring until she did it again and put Mercedes down, which sets up for a match that they had later on in the show, and we're going to talk about that. Next up, the first match of the night was Swerve versus Killswitch in a Dragon Whose House match. And Swerve gets his souvenir as he wins that match and takes a piece, cuts a piece of the Killswitch's hair, in which he has as a souvenir. I'm gonna tell you like this: Swerve ain't nobody to play with, and yes, Killswitch is a big dude, and he ain't nobody to play with, but he is not a match for Swerve. And later on, we're gonna talk about how Killswitch, has been on a rampage. He's been doing some things, so I guess he's trying to get that attention, and I don't think Christian has any more control over Killswitch. So, to no avail, we're going to see what happens later on. But let's get into the rest of what took place on Dynamite. So we had Learning Tree, Jericho and Big Bill in-ring segment. They bring out Brian Keith, and it's official. He went on the dark side. My boy is on the dark side. I thought they might have just paid him, at Double or Nothing to just do that interference that he did. But nope. He is a Jericho fan, and he is now a student of the Jericho's Learning Tree. But anyway, Hook comes out and attempted to go after the Learning Tree. However, he was stopped by none other than Samoa Joe, who's been talking to Hook backstage and giving him all kinds of advice, if you would call it that. But he stopped him and took him to the back, and it looks like they have some type of plan that they're putting together for the Learning Tree. So Jericho, you need to watch out. Anyway, moving on, IWJP New Japan World Championship match. The champ, Moxley, he defeated Rocky Romero. Now, I was impressed by Romero. He gave Moxley a challenge. And he should be considered to be a member of the Blackpool Combat Club because he is looking for friends, And that might be, he did give Moxley a hell of a fight. Now, does that put him in there? Well, with Moxley, you got to make him bleed. So if he's going to be in there, he's going to have to sacrifice some things. But anyway, let's go move on to Don Callis in-ring segment to present Orange Cassidy a contract. And here's the thing. The last couple of weeks I've been talking about this, Don Callis trying to recruit Cassidy, and I didn't understand why, but now I'm looking at this and I've seen what happened. So I'm going to tell you what happened. So Orange Cassidy was in the ring. He presented him with a contract, and Don was sincere, but Cassidy tore up the contract right in his face because he doesn't want to be a part of Don Callis' family. I think Orange Cassidy is good by himself. He don't need the best friends. He don't need any of them guys. He is good by himself. He reminds me of a young Chuck Norris, a little shorter, but And in the event, I think he's doing better without the riffraff and all the shenanigans. Because joining the Don Callis family doesn't mean that you turn into a bad guy. Because Will Ospreay is great and everybody loves him. And besides the fact that he's with the Callis family, which I understand, Don is the one who convinced him to come over that way, but you owe him nothing. I think that just like Cassidy, Ospreay needs to be on his own. It's not like Don is really doing anything for him. So I really don't understand that, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, here's what happened in this segment. So Cassidy tore up the contract, refused to join the family, but that's not the strange thing that happened. Out comes Chris Statlander and Stokely. Now I know Chris Statlander. She had some influence with the best friends. She was a part of the best friends, a friend or whatever. So understandably so. But it was a setup. It was to distract Orange, but disrespectful by comparing him to Willow Nightingale and throwing that in there. And they really setting themselves up for a retaliation because when Willow comes back, she gonna beat the hell out of Chris Statlander. I can't wait. But they set him up to get beat down by another best friend, Trent Beretta, who beat the blood out of Cassidy. And then he hugs Don Callis, and who I thought Don Callis would have went after first, Trent Beretta. He should have propositioned him first. But now it is official. Trent Beretta is a part of the Don Callis family. But to no avail, Orange Cassidy took the blunt of the blows for that. But Orange is a strong dude. He's not RoboCop, like I said before, and some of the things that happened to him, he should have been taken out on an ambulance. But you know what? I'm tired of saying that. This guy is tougher than he looks, and it shows. I'm going to tell you what happened later on in the show. Women's TBS Championship match. The CEO, Mercedes Monet, versus Sky Blue. She finally got some revenge. Sky Blue should never came out and told her what she did, but Monet defeated her and got some of that revenge. Now, it wasn't the easiest match. Sky Blue was a tough opponent. However, as Mercedes was celebrating her win, Stephanie Vecchio in New Japan CMLL Strong Women's Champion interrupts, and this is likely going to be a Forbidden Door match. But I'm looking at all this inter-promotional wrestling that's going on. The other brand now AEW showing. Which here's the thing, AEW started this with the Forbidden Door, so this is a Tony Khan thing. Now the other promotions that are now doing it, hey, this is great for wrestling fans, especially for me. I love it. But now we got New Japan wrestlers coming over. Some of them stay, which is great. You know what I'm saying? And here's a little history lesson for everybody. WWE is not shy from this. They've pulled a few people from New Japan Wrestling to come over to WWE. Don't get it twisted. People looking at Tony Khan, yeah, you keep pulling this, and then we don't know who they are. You didn't know half the wrestlers in WWE either. And they came from New Japan. They came from ROH. So lay off of Tony on that, because other promotions are doing the same damn thing. New Japan Wrestling been around for ages, for years. So, and they're going to still be around. And if you want to really put your stink on this on wrestling, you have to go through New Japan, because that's where the toughest wrestlers are. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Moving on, not going to get too much detail. I'm stepping off my soapbox right now and go back into what I'm talking about. So the EVPs, Matthew and Nick Jackson, in-ring segment, and they bring out the crew, the Elite, Okada and Jack Perry. They present Okada with a new sports car, and it was dope. It's a dope car, and I like it. That's cool. But then they was about to present Jack Perry with the TBS Championship. Now here's the thing, so people know, during the pay-per-view, Adam Copeland got injured, and he had to relinquish the title. These fools came out talking about they stripped him of the title. No, they didn't strip him. He relinquished it because he knew he could not carry on with his injury. So they tried to hand this title over to Jack Perry. Just like they gave Okada a gift, they was trying to give him a gift for helping them win at the pay-per-view. Now, here's the thing. Tony Khan is always thinking. If you know anything about a Libra, and we Libras, We always thinking 24/7, 7 days a week, every day. And guess what he did? He got a new interim vice president, Christopher Daniels, who comes out and announces that there will be a qualifier match for the TBS belt. And that if Jack Perry wants that title, he has to earn it. And I totally agree. You can't just hand out belts. What the hell wrong with you? I don't care if you're the EVP, the MVP, whatever you are. You can't just hand titles to people. If this is the place that calls where the best wrestle, then Jack Perry has to show that he is the best at wrestling to get that belt. And so it will start on Rampage, and that was the end of that. And the results will be at the Forbidden Door in a ladder match, as the Elite was about to give Christopher Daniels a very bad congratulations. The Acclaim came out to his rescue. Nothing happened because the EVPs are bullies. The Elite, all of them are bullies. And if it's 4-on-2, they're great. But when it's 4-on-4, they run for cover. Now, they did handle their things, but here's my problem with that. Yes, you won against 4 great guys. But you had to injure the one that probably would have pushed this over, and that's Eddie Kingston. You injured him because you knew you weren't going to be able to beat him. But Darby Allin was a great replacement. But to no avail, you won that. But don't get too cocky, because Tony Khan, like I said, is always thinking. Anyway, let's move on. Swerve backstage segment says he will be watching for his next opponent for his championship as we get into the championship casino gauntlet match. And the winner gets a title shot at Forbidden Door against Swerve. Let me tell you something. Again, and this is the reason why I made this show, AEW, the premiere show for tonight. Because even after the pay-per-view that they just had that gave me everything I ever wanted in a pay-per-view, worth every dime that I spent for it, they still come out on TV and make things happen. This was the damnedest gauntlet match I've seen. People that, let me just say this. I don't have many friends. I have nothing but brothers, to be honest with you. But my boy is now on AEW. They're giving him the shot to shine. And that, all right, let me just get into it, and then I'll tell you who my boy is. All right. So, kicking off, Jay White, the Bang Bang Gang, they was not out there. It was, they made it very well. At first, it was supposed to be, nobody on the outside interference and all of that. And it was great. It kicked off with Jay White and Pac going at it. For a few minutes, they went at it. Then Mystico of CMLL came out. He was the next one. Then Claudio. Then Will Ospreay. He's got the belt, which I didn't understand why he was in this. But I wasn't upset about it. Then they had another wrestler, was named Shona from New Japan Wrestling. And then my boy, Leo Rush, AEW. He is all elite. And he came in and did his thing. And then you had Cassidy, who came out all banged up from earlier when Trent Beretta jumped him. Still had a bandage around his head. But I didn't think he was going to win this one because he wasn't 100%. Had he been 100%, he might have been more in a better position. But guess what? My boy Leo didn't win it. However, he gave them a hell of a fight. And that's my boy. But the person that won this and that will be heading to Forbidden Door to face Swerve for the AEW Championship is none other than Will Ospreay. Now, I've said it many times. He is the greatest wrestler of all time right now. He is my top pick wrestler right now. You know, and I say the right now part because every year and every time every decade, whatever, we have wrestlers that will come and replace that wrestler. You know, so right now, Will Ospreay is my top pick wrestler. He is my top wrestler right now. But so is Swerve. Now I didn't expect this to happen so soon. I'm waiting. I was gonna wait. This could have built up to something else. But the fact that they're facing each other right now at Forbidden Door, yeah, this gonna be a hell of a match. I can't wait. Again, AEW do not miss when it comes to these pay-per-views. They give the fans what they want. Even when we don't know what we want, they give it to us. They know exactly what to do when it comes to these pay-per-views. But that's the end of Dynamite. They had a face-to-face Will Ospreay and Swerve. I'm gonna tell you, man, that's gonna be a hell of a match. Two of my top pick stars going head to head. I can't wait for Forbidden Door. But I'll be back with Rampage after these messages. We're back. Let's talk about AEW Rampage. Now, this is going to be a very short segment. It wasn't as exciting, but you know that Rampage is only an hour show, so it's not much they can do too much in an hour. I do think that AEW, if you're listening, should expand either Collision or Dynamite to 3 hours and at least give Rampage an extra hour. I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, AEW Rampage kicks off with the TNT Championship match qualifier, which I mentioned in the last segment for Dynamite, for the TNT belt. Penta El Zero Miedo versus Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita gets the win. It was not an easy match. This match was a back and forth brawl slash a lot of aerobics. If you know who Penta is, you know there's a lot of aerobics. But Takeshita, with the strength and speed, this was a back and forth match. Really didn't know who was going to win it, but Takeshita did get the win. Satnam Singh, this is a giant. Why put him in there with some little guys, man? But anyway, he defeated Peter Avalon. Easy win. I can't wait to see Satnam Singh, if it ever happens, versus Big Bill. Now that's a match. Two big guys going at it. That should be a match that they make for Satnam Singh, not these little guys. And if you're gonna put them in there, do it like they did with Andre the Giant back in the day, where you had 3 or 4 guys. But little guys like Peter Avalon, come on now. Anyway, moving on. AEW Women's World Championship match. The Eliminator. Toni Storm with Luther and Mariah May defeated Viva Van. Listen, again, Toni Storm she's just doing her thing. I'm not going to get too much deeper into the women's division. Like I said, they need more wrestlers. They should do some type of tournament, like bring in some wrestlers and do a wrestling school or something to bring in more female wrestlers and give Toni and even the CEO some more competition, because after you finish with the main competition, then what? What will they do next? All right, Kyle O'Reilly, my boy, defeated Jordan Cruz. Was not an easy match, but Kyle O'Reilly has proven time and time again, and I'm going to tell you about him again on Collision. He's a great, great wrestler. One of the greatest, and he's going in that direction. And I'll talk about him more on Collision, because on Collision he had a hell of a match. So I'm going to end it with the Ray Phoenix versus defeated Isaiah Cassidy. So that's the end of AEW Rampage, and that ends the show. Um, Isaiah Cassidy, good wrestler, but to no avail, he lost. All right, moving on. I'm gonna be back after these messages with Collision, and we're gonna talk about some things that happened over there because it was a hot show. Stay tuned. Hey there, wrestling fans. This is your boy Teo, the host of Brawl Till We Fall, and I want you to check out my show every Sunday. We have 2 shows. That's right, we have 2 shows on Sunday night. The 2 shows we have is the highlight show, which is at 6:30 p.m. on Sundays. And then we have our premiere show at 8:30 p.m. on Sundays. So check us out. We also have our Thursday night Let's Talk About It show featuring my brothers. And hopefully sometime in the future we can have some wrestling stars or somebody to come out and talk about the pay-per-views that's coming up on that weekend. So every Thursday, right before the pay-per-views, we have our Let's Talk About It show. So check us out. Right there's the info. You can go to YouTube to check us out on YouTube, and soon we'll have other platforms. But until then, right now, check us out every Sunday. We have our show. Peace out. All right, we're back. Let's talk about AEW Collision. This kicked off June 1st. That's right, it was awesome. This Collision, like I said, AEW is getting better and better. They're now bringing their pay-per-views to TV, which is what we, the fans, wanted and what we deserve. And it is a slobber knocker. This is awesome. Things that happened on this show was awesome. Pay-per-view worthy, actually, if you ask me. Kicks off with Roderick Strong, the Undisputed Kingdom, versus Lio Rush, my little brother. That's my boy. That's my heart right there. This was a fast-paced match, thanks to my little brother, Lio Rush. He did bring it. He brought it. But due to the distractions from the Undisputed Kingdom, Roderick did get the win. But my brother made sure he knew that he was in a fight, in a battle. He did make that boy sweat. But to no avail. Of course, you gotta crawl before you walk, and he just coming in AEW, so it is what it is. Next match, Shibata and Daniel Garcia defeated Drake and Henry of the Work Horsemen. But here's the thing: the highlight of this night was the big man Drake. His moonsault was awesome. For a big man like that to do a moonsault like that. That was awesome. I was very impressed with that. Even though they lost, that the Workhorsemen, they can be some big dudes coming in the future, you know. But they did their thing. But Shibata and Daniel Garcia got the win. Moving on, Statlander and Hathaway backstage segment. They continue to torment Willow Nightingale, and they continue to call her garbage and all these things. And I say like this, you don't poke the bear. When she come back, you guys going to be in trouble, and I can't wait. Thunder Rosa defeated Reina Dorado. The Gates of Agony defeated Ricky G, KM, and Danny Rose. And they did this without a sweat. Gates of Agony, come on. These some big dudes. Again, you know, as I said in the last program, these dudes need better competition. Some of these dudes. Claudio Castagnoli, the Blackpool Combat Club, defeated Johnny TV with Talia Valkyrie in his corner. And even though she had some distractions to no avail, Claudio, come on, he's a veteran in this sport. And at the end of the day, he knows all the tricks and trades. And he beat Johnny TV without a sweat. All Johnny got was a swing and defeated. That's all he got. Moving on, you see the promotion of the premier athletes, Tony Nese, Davari, and Josh Woods. And this should be interesting because those three dudes, I know, they are great singles competitors. So imagine together as a team, yeah, there's that's going to be something to reckon with in the future. Shane Taylor Promotions with Lee Moriarty. They defeated the West Coast Wrecking Crew from New Japan. Now, they showed all this footage, which is great that they're showing now footage of wrestlers that's coming from New Japan over there. And that's great. They're listening to us. So we are getting an idea of who these wrestlers are and what they've accomplished. And the Wrecking Crew wreaked havoc over in New Japan. And they were great. They are great over there in New Japan. But they got wrecked over here in AEW by Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty and the Shane Taylor Promotions. Moving on, backstage promo by the Iron Savages was brutally interrupted by Killswitch, which I told y'all in the first show. After he lost to Swerve, he's been on a rampage. I don't think Christian has any more control over Killswitch. But he beat the hell out of Iron Savages. He whooped they ass. And these ain't no little dudes. So, Christian, come get your boy. He's on a rampage. Now, the main event of the evening. And this is why I say this was a pay-per-view quality show. This match, Will Ospreay versus Kyle O'Reilly, was a damn good match. These dudes are what you call wrestlers. And like I said, I would tell you about Kyle O'Reilly when I talked to you about him before. Listen, when he did his thing on Rampage, that was just only a brief introduction of what he can do. But after seeing him versus Will Ospreay, how he fought, I mean, he risked his life for this match here because he did some hell of a things. Lets me know that he should also be another candidate for the Blackpool Combat Club, because Blackpool Combat Club has wrestlers, the best, and brawlers, the best. This dude, when Bryan Danielson decides that he wants to step down and give all of this up, he should pass that baton to Kyle O'Reilly. He is like the new version of Bryan Danielson. He took it to Will Ospreay. I damn near thought he was going to get that belt. He didn't get the Intercontinental Championship. Will Ospreay wouldn't let him win it. Which begs to differ on certain things, because what are you trying to do? A two-time champion type of thing on AEW? You trying to be an Intercontinental Champion and have the AEW Championship too? Which makes me think maybe that's the case. Or maybe not. Maybe Swerve retains his title. Because I also would like to see Swerve against MJF. But that's what I look at. Anyway, like I said, Will Ospreay won this match. But all my respect goes to Kyle O'Reilly, because he made this man know. He let him know he'd been in a fight. Oh yeah, Will Ospreay came out with hurt fingers and everything. He let him know, yo, you may have won, but I won the war. Yes. So that's what ended Collision. And Will Ospreay was very much tested. And because he passed the test with flying colors, he's ready to face Swerve. Because Swerve is going to put him through some stuff. He's ready. So I can't wait to see, and hopefully Will be at 100%, because like I said, he suffered some hurt fingers and some tingling in his fingers that the doctor had to look at him after the match was over. But I hope he's at 100%, because he's going to need every percent of it when he faces Swerve. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. This has been another episode of Brawl Till We Fall. My name is Teo, and I'm out, and I'll catch y'all next week.